Well, good morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on this 5th day of March. I'm Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
We've got a lot of news out of the NFL, the NBA. Plus, we'll I don't know is this the Rodgers clip from McAfee yesterday?
Yes.
Because if you didn't catch Rodgers on McAfee yesterday, it was hilarious. But we'll talk a little professional bull riding as we have the longtime announcer Matt West joining us, as well as a local comedian, business owner, Dan Betts, filling in for Anthony Howdigy this morning at 8 o'clock. You can call or text in anytime at 661-842-2000.
Tons to talk about in the NFL as multiple star players find themselves looking for new homes or headed to a new home. In Trent McDuffie's case, that broke right at the end of our show yesterday, so we'll get to talk about that. Plus, Myles Garrett got his 9th speeding ticket in 9 years. I said this the other day when we were talking about a certain quarterback that's not here anymore. And again, prayers to the Ponder family and all of that. But when are these athletes going to start just paying for drivers? And this happened at 1:30 at night. Apparently, Myles Garrett.
1:30 in the morning or 1:30?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. 1:30 in the morning.
Damn.
I say at night because obviously there's no sun, but
Right.
It is in the morning. He was clocked going 90 plus in a 70. It's better than last time when he got clocked going 100 and a 60. But when are these athletes going to sit here and learn? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe
maybe the 10th time we'll do it.
I would hope the state of Ohio says, "Give me your license."
Right. You would think you would get some jail time for this.
Get
9th time.
I don't care how many sacks you had in the NFL. Give me that piece of paper.
That's 9 times that he's gotten a ticket.
That's ridiculous. In 9 years. Anybody else would have.
I'd have been in jail.
Yeah. Anybody else would be in jail right now. Now, granted, maybe not on a long-term stay, but still. At this point, and they pretty much said, yeah, he's got a court date, but he doesn't even have to show up as long as he pays the fine.
Of course.
And it's Myles Garrett. He's going to pay the fine. He don't care.
He probably already did.
Yeah.
He's like, here. Take it.
He probably looked at the cop and said, how much do I make the check out for too? Like, what's happening at this point? It's like, I'm sorry, Asifa. This check for a couple $1,000 should cover it, right? I love Myles. I'm a big fan of Myles Garrett. Have been since he got into the league. Will forever be. But at this point, hire a damn driver, kid.
Yeah, you're gonna hurt somebody one of these days, and it's not gonna be so funny.
Learn from Henry Ruggs and Rashee Rice. And honestly, where's the NFL in this?
Right.
You guys are so quick to suspend and punish everybody else for this, but I have yet to see anything come down for Brandon Ayuk or for Myles Garrett.
And you mentioned Henry Ruggs. I saw yesterday that he's attempting a comeback. That he could. No, they were saying he could be eligible as of this year.
I know he wants
wow.
it. I know he wants that, but I don't know, man. Something as serious as what he went through.
I mean, he did his time.
He did. He absolutely did. The NFL is known for trying to give these guys a second chance too. So maybe you're right. Maybe he gets a second shot in all of this, but I don't know. Something in my head tells me, yeah, probably not. But could be a nice story for the NFL.
Right.
Could be a nice story of a young kid who learned his lesson, hired a driver, and will hopefully never do anything like that ever again. And he comes back and is one of the most explosive slot receivers in the game, which we all expected him to be when he was drafted.
Yep. And speaking of other people needed drivers, I saw Britney Spears got popped for a DUI this morning as well.
Oh.
Like, geez, man.
It's Britney. I can't say the other word.
Sure you can.
I don't know if can we get away with that on radio?
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get away with that.
It's no, she got a DUI in Ventura this morning.
God.
Toxic.
Yeah, no kidding.
Toxic.
At this point, I'm actually surprised anybody in the Ventura area would even
mess with it.
Yeah, mess with this.
Just go, Britney.
I thought Britney Spears was dead a long time ago. Not it literally, but it meant like her career and her popularity.
This was just super sad to see all these videos that pop up. But I saw the story. I was looking to see what exact speed that they
I thought I saw this
that
morning on
Myles,
ESPN they popped him for like a 95 or something in
yeah,
that area
94
and
and
a
a
70.
70. I was like,
Yeah.
jeez.
And again, when he got popped last year, it was 100 miles an hour and a 60. I think we talked about that on this show. He's, again, I know he's one of the biggest faces and biggest names in the NFL. But at this point, just hire a driver, man. I don't need to wake up to a story of, which we already have at one point, Myles Garrett or single car crash, all that types. No, we don't need to wake up to those kinds of stories,
And
man.
if you want to be a race car driver, man,
Go be a race car driver.
You could rent out, the speed zone or the speedways. They do it all the time.
I can't understand. No, actually, no, I do understand. I'm not going to sit here and say I can't understand why they do this. I get it. It's the rock star lifestyle.
They
The
buy the
fast
badass cars,
cars,
exactly.
the awesome, or the gorgeous women, the awesome lifestyle. I get it. And right now, Myles Garrett and his family are riding high. Not only did he just break the sack record, his girlfriend is a massively well-known Olympian now. Whether girlfriend's parents actually approve of the relationship is still
Just
out
got
in
a
the
fat
air.
contract.
I know he just got a fat contract. He might be on the move and finally out of Cleveland, from what we understand. There is a possibility of that. Highly unlikely due to his contract and all of that. It's going to be really tough to actually move pieces around to get him moved. But regardless, the guy's flying high. He has all the reason in the world to be happy. But come on, man. Nine in 9 years? And like you said, is number 10 going to be the moment where he sits there and says, I don't know about this. Maybe I should make some sort of change, because at this point you've paid more in speeding tickets than you would have for a driver. Where's the line going to be drawn, in my opinion? But again, let's get off of Myles Garrett and all of his hoopla, because again, he's probably just going to pay the fine and no one's going to hear from this ever again. Let's shift over to the other major stories of the NFL. We have 3 players headed to a different home, starting with Trent McDuffie, which we heard about at the end of the show yesterday, being traded from the Chiefs to the Rams for their first round pick, the 29th overall pick this year. I believe they also get a 5th and a 6th rounder for this year and a 3rd rounder for next year's draft. It's pretty much the exact same trade they got for Tyreek Hill outside of a handful of other pieces. And it's kind of what I talked about yesterday when it came to the Dallas Cowboys. They see they can get the max amount for this player, so they moved off of him to gain more draft capital. I think the Chiefs see a lot of really talented secondary players that they can make great. And the Chiefs have really done this with dang near every corner that they have drafted lately, going back to Marcus Peters. Made Marcus Peters a household name, traded him off to the Rams. I mean, now they're doing the same thing with McDuffie. I know they did the same thing with, oh, Lord. His name is, I'm drawing it, Snead. Ladarius Snead as well, and many other corners since then. I believe actually one is looking for a major contract this offseason.
And just like the Rams,
Yeah.
they just trade off their first rounds. They're like, if we can get a solid player that's already been, through his rookie deal, now they'll give him a long-term extension, because this was his last year on the rookie deal. So,
and this is the best player on the Chiefs defense outside of Chris Jones. But it's a tale of two teams to me. One team is sitting here thinking, we don't have our starting quarterback probably for the first half of the season. Why not try to build some stuff around him for when he comes back, and maybe we make a late run next year. If not, we come back in 2027. And the Rams are sitting here thinking we maybe have 1 year, 2 years left with Matthew Stafford. Let's push all in now. And as we've heard from everybody in that front office multiple times, from the ownership all the way down to Sean McVay, F those picks. We don't need them. And plus, they have Atlanta's 13th overall pick this year as well in the first round. So who cares about the 29th? The Rams are just reloading for another Super Bowl run, in my opinion. And this might make them the scariest team in the NFC. They were already kind of up there, but now I think it's pretty well established. I don't know if there's going to be a better team there's going to be a more well-rounded team on the NFC side of football next year. Do you think this gets them into the Super Bowl? contention area because they were one game away again.
I mean, this there's going to be a lot of moving parts this offseason for a lot of teams, and a lot of NFC teams have a ton of money. But I mean, even looking at the odds, Vegas changed their odds real quick
Yep.
as soon as that trade over. And with the team that beat them, it's going to be Seattle. There's going to be some teams that are going to creep up.
49ers.
We're not expecting, like always.
Yep.
But I mean, with Seattle, they're as of right now, they're losing Shaheed, they're losing Kenneth Walker, and some other defensive players on the other side. I think the Rams should be in the mix.
Oh yeah, and again, I'm honestly surprised from what I keep reading that the Seattle Seahawks don't have a lot of interest in bringing back Kenneth Walker at all.
Or Shaheed.
Shaheed kind of makes more sense to me. That was kind of a 1-year thing. They needed a deep threat, and he fit the mold really well. But when it comes to not re-signing the Super Bowl MVP, and I don't care how many people try to give me grief for saying this, he was one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, they won that game. And I will make this argument. Everyone says, well, the kicker deserves more credit. The kicker would never have been in the range to make those kicks at all if it wasn't for Kenneth Walker.
If it wasn't for that defense.
The same thing. But the defense would have been put in worse situations as well if it wasn't for Kenneth Walker. If you really take into account where the offense had the ball, where the offense was able to drive it in the first half, how they were able to drive it, it was all in the back of Kenneth Walker. The defense stepped up in the second half and obviously scored. That is a big key. But if it was not for Kenneth Walker setting the tone in the first half and really carrying the load for the offense the majority of this game.
I mean, we talked about it a month going into the Super Bowl. They weren't high on Kenneth Walker in the first place. He was on the trade block before the deadline.
Right.
So I'm not too shocked because they don't want to make a record breaking deal with somebody that they feel like they can replace in not only in free agency, but they seem to think that there's a lot of running backs in this draft that fit their mold.
Or they just think Charbonnet is the guy, which he looked fantastic as well.
Another one coming off injury. So
exactly.
It's gonna be trippy.
And maybe you're right. Maybe my original thought of him getting somewhere between 18 million and a deal in that area is a little too steep for a running back, especially since not a lot are really asking for that kind of money right now. But at the same time, just the thought of you walking away from a Super Bowl MVP just doesn't sit well with me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know I've heard a lot of players say the same thing. I know LaShawn McCoy went to bat for this guy. And much like we talked about with the Minnesota Vikings letting Sam Darnold go, if you let Kenneth Walker go and he goes to a place like, I don't know, let's say Pittsburgh takes a shot on him, and then he leads the league in rushing next year, you're going to look real stupid, especially if the team goes from 14-3 and drops anywhere under 11 games, 11 wins. It's going to make you look dumb. I don't necessarily think you need to break the bank to bring him back, but just thought of...
Even at the 14 at the franchise, they were like, that's too much.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, again, if that's what your price tag is, it is what it is. But I also argue that Seattle never uses the franchise tag to begin with.
Right.
They never do.
If they do, it's the kicker.
Exactly. And they usually still find a way to sign the kicker long-term as well.
I'm not surprised because we've seen a lot of the devalue of the running back position.
Right.
So I understand. And I think, with Coach McDonald, he feels that this is a team thing that they feel like they can build around. So, I mean, whether it's Charbonnet or they see something else in free agency or the draft, I think it's going back to where running backs aren't going to be overpaid or as high as paid.
True. And
there's too many teams out there that are a running back away that will pay that tag for a guy that's a Super Bowl MVP now.
Right. And that's why I think that he's probably going to get picked up one of the first days free agency starts next week. But I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle still tries to make an offer. You don't just let a guy like this walk away. And although, yes, the relationship was sour at one point last season, we said the same thing about Breece Hall. And look what the Jets are doing with Breece. They're still not allowing him to walk away because they know the talent that he has. And you're not going to get anybody to drop 2 first-round draft picks for Breece Hall. So we all know that. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but when I hear that you're not willing to bring back your Super Bowl MVP, the guy who literally had over 150 yards in the Super Bowl for you, that doesn't sit well with me. It really doesn't. I'm a loyalty guy. If your guy stepped up for you and helped you win the biggest game of the year, that at least to me warrants a contract.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
think
me.
that's us as a fan
Fair,
and being homers for our teams.
fair.
I get upset almost every year because Miami continues to, overpay for certain players every 3 or 4 years.
Naturally.
And then I buy their jersey and then they're gone.
No,
And
naturally.
I'm seeing the same thing. I mean, we saw some other players that I'm sure we'll get into that are getting released that I wasn't not too shocked, but it's still like, okay, well, this player was the best player in that position on your team,
Mm.
and you're just going to hit reset on that quick.
Well,
Okay.
we might as well transition into that because the two big names that pop up into my head when you talk about that are Stefon Diggs, obviously, which everyone's talked about, and now Jonathan Allen from Minnesota being told that he is also going to get let go.
And what about Mooney? What do you think
Mooney,
about that one?
that one, unfortunately, I saw coming just because of the injury
Right.
history. And when he came back, it was nothing like what we had when he was first stepping onto the field. Plus, as we've said a couple times now in the last couple days, this draft class has been pretty deep in certain areas. I would say secondary, offensive line, and then probably wide receiver. You're going to get a couple guys that can step up into pivotal roles for teams. So maybe Atlanta sees something in the second, third round that they want to take a shot on. But at this point, he just, as much as I like the guy and as much as he stepped up in his first year with Atlanta, we just never saw the same production. But I can't say the same for guys like Jonathan Allen. This one shocks me. He was the best defensive tackle on that defense, had a career year in terms of tackles. Now, granted, he didn't get to the quarterback as much as he usually does. But when you're in a Brian Flores offense and there's what, 6, 7 other guys that get to the quarterback on a whim, it's kind of hard to be the first one there. I'm just shocked, and I know this is more likely along the lines of cap salary move
Exactly
because
what it
they are
is.
so far over the cap. I think they were 43 million over before they started making moves. Now they've dwindled it down to I think pretty close to the cap salary, if not under it now. But still, the move off of Jonathan Allen, I think that's going to hurt the Vikings defense next year, especially in the run stopping position or the run stopping game. I There's a lot of teams that are going to be reaching out to Jonathan Allen to get him onto their team to solidify the inside of that front seven. Were you shocked by this one at all? I mean, we talked about Stefon Diggs. You brought it up. The fact that he just couldn't play well in the Super Bowl probably is what led to this. Not to mention that his cap hit is going to be going from 10 million to 26 million this year. So New England sat there and said, yeah, that's a little too pricey for a wide receiver that could barely be found in the biggest game of the year. So do you think Jonathan Allen is the bigger shocker here, or do you think Stefon Diggs getting moved off of is the bigger one?
I mean, that's a tough one. I know Allen is I think for each team that was releasing the player, I think Allen's the biggest move, just personally because he was the captain on that defense.
Right.
And I think with Flores, I've seen Flores's defense and his schemes. I think, they obviously were drowning in salary cap and being over. And, I've heard it several times on other sports shows that there's not really a salary cap. There's always ways to maneuver and do bonuses.
Right.
2 days ago, the Chiefs were $55 million over, and now, they're sitting at 20 million. So we
Yeah.
see it all the time. I think it's going to be the bigger hit will be Allen with Minnesota. And with the Stefon Diggs thing, I'm not shocked because we talked about it for the last year, his off the field issues, his salary cap, he was going to get paid in the second year of the 3-year deal. And with Vrabel, no nonsense type coach, I've already seen the rumors of, guys like AJ Brown and Pierce from Indianapolis that fit their offense better. And I think that's where they're going to put the money.
AJ Brown to me is the perfect fit. Him and Vrabel have a very good relationship. Vrabel didn't want AJ Brown traded at the end of his tenure there. I think that one fits the best in terms of finding the number one guy to really sit in that spot for the Patriots. But I think you're right. I think just the accumulation of everything, the being sued by his chef for 10 grand. I'm not exactly sure exactly what happened there, but or his chef now has a grievance against him and is trying to get him to pay, I think, money that he was supposed to have paid her in the past. Obviously, the public relationship with Cardi B and the public breakup that was during the Super Bowl probably didn't help. And you already touched on it, but the $16.5 million increase of the cap salary hit this guy's going to become. And that's a tough ask for any team to really take on when you don't step up when they need you to the most. And we can all honestly say Stefon was nowhere to be found in that Super Bowl game. He was absolutely just
I don't think anyone on
missing.
that offense was.
No, that's fair, but none of the wide receivers really helped Drake May.
And the
find
first thing I
somebody.
saw is Josh Allen tweeting out, "Come home,
Yeah,
come home."
and maybe he does, but again, I have to highlight what I've been saying about the Aaron Rodgers situation. We all forget how bad some of these relationships ended when they get moved off of. Now, Aaron went on McAfee yesterday and pretty much said, I love Mike McCarthy. Our relationship's great. It's not as bad as people say it is. And that's fine. But Stefon Diggs kind of, I don't want to say burnt the bridge, but definitely stepped on a lot of toes on his way out. And signing with the Patriots right afterwards probably didn't sit well with a lot of people in that front office there in Buffalo. So,
Well,
as
they're-
much as Josh wants to cry and say, come home, I don't know if there's a lot of people in that front office for Buffalo that are willing to actually
Well, now it's
make a
Josh
call.
and Brady's.
True. But again, I don't know. Unless they're genuinely saying he's better than Keon Coleman and that's the best option we got. Which again, justice for my boy Keon Coleman. This is getting ridiculous. But again, I just this entire thing with Stefon doesn't shock me any, but at the same time, I'm kind of with you. I think this is more along the lines of, as I've said on this show a couple times, when your personal life becomes too much for them to deal with, or at least too big for the dollar sign they pay you, you're gonna get fired. But that's a lot of jobs. So who do we got on the phone, my friend?
We got our guest.
Oh, fantastic. Let's take a break then. We will get to PBR on the other side. They are coming. I'm sorry. Excuse me. PBR Bakersfield will be here next weekend. It's the the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour will be coming. And I have a lot of questions about how this stuff works. I've gone to PBR many times since living here in Bakersfield. They are usually here once a year, and it is always fun. It's one of the best events that we have here locally. But the standings and just how all of this works, I need a breakdown because personally, the sports side of it, I don't know a whole ton about. So I can't wait to talk to our guy, Matt West, here and hear all about it. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Time to talk a little PBR. No, not Pabst Blue Ribbon. Get it out of your head. It's too early for that. No, it's time to talk pro bull riding. PBR Bakersfield is headed right here to Bakersfield, California next weekend for the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour. And to talk about that and much, much more is our friend Matt West of the PBR, of PBR. Sir, good morning. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know that we're friends right now, okay? Because you guys, I gotta pretend to be Sean Hockley for a minute. And I'm throwing a penalty flag right out of the gate. Because you guys lead into me talking about the toughest athletes in the world with Cardi B references.
Look, it's more of a Stefon Diggs reference.
Are you kidding me?
It's a Stefon Diggs reference. I'm sorry. We just had to bring up the off the field stuff. You know, it's not the setting up of you guys. I promise.
Hey, but I love it because sometimes there's a relationship. Obviously, Stefon and Cardi B, that didn't work. Stefon, Josh Allen, maybe that works a little bit better. I tell you, like the best bull riders in the world in Bakersfield, that's a relationship that has worked well for a long time. And there's no question on what team we need to be on because, our team, the PBR, is super excited to come back to Bakersfield.
We're always excited to have you guys. It's one of the best events that come to this town every single year. I love going. And I just want to start this out because I know there's a lot of people that listen to us that really don't know how the standings work or how many leagues and standings you guys actually have because there are teams in PBR. There's also individual and stuff like that. So what are people going to be seeing next Saturday at the Velocity Tour?
So look, at the core of bull riding, it is an individual sport, man versus beast, okay? We have two seasons. One is individual. The other is a brand new league that we created going into its fifth year here later on this year called PBR Teams. Forget about that right now because this is one man versus one beast at the core of the sport. Now, when you break that down, there's three different tiers of competition. There's what we call the Unleash the Beast series, which is the top 35 guys in the world. They're on television every single weekend. And then right behind that is what's called the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour. It's essentially AAA baseball.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of people don't like that comparison, but that's it. It's AAA baseball because it's the guys that have just come from a major league roster and are trying to work their way back through injury or trying to work their way back into the top 35, or it's kids that are on the rise, that are climbing, that are almost to that level. And that's what we're going to be seeing. We're going to see, there's a former Rookie of the Year and a World Finals qualifier named Eli Bassbinder that's going to be competing there, a guy that has shined on the biggest stage in the sport. He's won rounds at the PBR World Finals in his rookie season. He did it with broken ribs. He's actually going to be there. He's trying to make that climb back. He's married. He's got kids at home. So he's kind of slowed down a little bit, but he's also now he's engaged and he's looking to get back to the big leagues. And that's why you're going to see, to me, I love spring training baseball because you're watching guys fight to get to that next level, earn their spot on a roster, if you will. That's essentially what we're bringing to Bakersfield. We're bringing guys that are hungry, that are going to give it absolutely everything they've got in order to get to that top level. So you're looking at superstars, guys like Mason Taylor, who have been to the World Finals 6-7 times, who are quote-unquote superstars in our industry. So if you think you're going out to just, catch a bunch of guys that you've never seen or heard of before, you're wrong. This is a top-notch spectacle. And if you've never seen bull riding, my goodness, I mean,
you're missing out. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's like a Cardi B concert. You don't know what to expect until you get in your seat see it for yourself.
Well,
there's nothing in the world like it.
Trust me, if you're living in Bakersfield and you've been here, you've been to bull riding. But I will say, what can they expect when the Velocity Tour comes to Bakersfield? And not only that, but, how important are these events for the riders? And, you mentioned some of the big names, but how big are these events for, not the big names, but the ones that are just coming up?
Look, there's a lot of California guys that are going to be competing there. And for guys that, it's hard. It's hard to get from the West Coast to the East Coast sometimes and be able to get back in time. This is a home field advantage for a lot of these California guys. There's a guy from Pismo Beach named Aaron Williams who's made it to the big show, who has came home. He's back in California. He's raising babies. But this is a long-haired outlaw with a Yosemite Sam mustache that like fits the bill. But he surfs like he's a surfer. He just doesn't look like it. But he is a guy that has represented the state of California. So if you're within driving distance of Bakersfield, if for nothing else, to go watch the energy that this guy alone brings to an event and represents his home state with pride. And I pull for guys like that, right? Because this is, for a lot of guys, this is their biggest opportunity to get to the biggest stage in our sport. It's like essentially, because every time you win one of these events, you automatically get an invite to our premier tour. So that's essentially like a wild card game in baseball. Like, okay, you got one shot to go in there, and if you can win this game, you essentially make the playoffs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the human outlaws, but let's talk about the real outlaws.
Absolutely.
What about these bulls? Where do you guys get these bulls? And I mean, obviously they're in the name.
They're bred for power, baby.
Right?
Yeah, look, we boast that we have the best bull riders in the world competing at this level because I'll use baseball as a reference, because you can't say you're the best hitter in Major League Baseball unless you're going against the best pitchers in the game, right? You've got to go against the all-star level guys. We boast about that because we do bring in the best bulls in the world. No matter where we're at in the United States, we have bulls at our disposal that are worthy of that title. Good news about California is right up and down that West Coast, there's a lot of California bulls. There's bulls that are up in Washington and Oregon that'll be making their way down, so we can go out and we can find the best opportunities for these guys to win at this level, because ultimately we are not a sport without these animal athletes. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of misconceptions around the world about how these animal athletes are treated, but nothing we do in our lives happened without these animal athletes. And so we take the utmost pride in their health and well-being and making sure that they are truly the most incredible athletes in sports. And I talk about our guys being tough, but the athleticism of these animals at 15 to 1,800 pounds, the muscles, everything about what they do. I've been doing this my whole life. I've been around it my whole life, and I'm still amazed at how athletic these guys are and how lucky we are to have these bulls as part of our sport.
So do you guys have ranches that you work with that you specifically tell them like, hey, I know you got one that's on the way up, or do you just kind of send scouts out there to find these bulls? How do you guys find them?
So what's crazy about it is we have a very small delegation of people. And when I say very small, there's essentially one guy who is our livestock director.
Oh, wow.
And he will get hundreds of videos a day.
Really?
And trust me when I say a day, because I've sat with him and tried to have conversations, and his phone just constantly blows up. And there's bull owners from all over the country, that will send him videos of bulls to say, hey, this was last weekend. This is what this bull's been doing at the ranch. This is what this bull's been doing at these other events. And he essentially is the gatekeeper to determine whether or not these bulls are good enough to go to the major leagues. Now here, it's going to be very similar to what we talk about in terms of the riders, because you'll see some bulls getting their chance to become superstars. And I think that most people will remember a bull called Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker was a world famous bull for us. He was, on Sports Illustrated's The Body issue. He was in USA Today. He was all over the place. But essentially, he started his career in places like Bakersfield. He is a bull that was raised in California. So that's what I love about this, is because you're looking at the next generation of the biggest names in our sport.
Absolutely.
And you get to do it at a premier level event like Bakersfield, and you get to be right there in the intimate setting, and you get to know these guys and these animals essentially before the rest of the world. I love that.
I love that too. And Bakersfield is one of those places I feel that we get that more than anybody. Obviously, we have our AHL affiliate with the Condors. We've had affiliate baseball teams here for many years. And obviously you guys coming here is another step into that. Now we know obviously what we're looking for in terms of the riders. Can you hold on for as long as humanly possible? But when your livestock guy is looking at these bulls, what are the tells that he could see that are making him feel like, oh, this could be a good one. This is one that we need to pull in here.
It's kind of like a coach when he brings in kids for like a football practice.
Uh-huh.
Not everything about their technique is perfect, but you can tell the ones that have heart and the ones that really want to do what they need to do. They're looking for kick. They're looking for a bull that jumps out of there and kicks as hard as he can. They're looking for a bull that'll turn back either direction and kind of spin, change the momentum. But at the core of everything, when they're young, these bulls will start bucking at, a year or 2 years old. And they'll buck with a mechanical dummy on their back. And you really start to learn, okay, does this bull have the heart? Does he want to do this as much as he needs that want to be able to make it to the next level? And so, I equate our bull owners to coaches or general managers. They've got to look at all of that. Excuse me. But they've also got to walk through, not just on game day, but every day of the off season as well. They will walk through and they'll look at these bulls and they'll just make sure that they're sound. They'll make sure that they're healthy. They'll make sure that nothing's limping or anything like that. Because again, at the core of what we do, that's the number one priority, is the health and well-being of the animals. So yeah, they're looking for all of that, but they're also looking to see, okay, is this bull, does he have the heart to handle the road? Does he have the structure to be able to handle, going from place to place and do these things? So there's a lot. I'd love to say, well, hey, a guy's got to be able to tackle in the open field, but it's not that simple. I mean, just like any other sport, you got to look for the total package, but it all starts no different than anything else with how much heart does that athlete have.
That's incredible.
100%. I mean, me and my older brother, we grew up watching. Every year we'd go out and watch the PBR, and I mean, we're excited. We used to make our little side bets before it started. I've got these 5 guys, he's got 5 guys, and we'd have fun with it. But PBR, they're bringing one of the toughest sports on dirt coming back to Bakersfield at the Dignity Health Arena, March 14th at 7 p.m. So for fans listening who wants to go out there and experience the PBR Velocity Tour, what's the best place they can get their tickets?
Man, look, I'll make it really simple for everybody. If you go to PBR.com, all you got to do is click the links and you can find Bakersfield. I know you'll be able to go up to AXS.com as well. You can get them at the box office, but personally, I would jump on AXS.com or PBR.com and secure those things right now.
Yeah, before they sell out.
Yeah, Bakersfield, it's got a reputation.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't do it quickly, you're gonna be left outside. So.
And you do not want to be left outside for this one.
Nope.
I know we've talked extensively about the bulls. I have one more question when it comes to the riders, much like what we were talking about with the bulls. These are the up and coming guys, these are the guys that really want to become one of the top 35. How do they get started? I mean, there's a avenue for a lot of other sports, obviously, with the draft, but not so much with PBR. So if there's somebody listening right now that wants to get into pro bull riding, how can they do that?
Look, I'm going to send you again to PBR.com, and you can obviously email into that website and ask questions. We do have a rider development system, but I also encourage people to ask around, because even in California, there are a lot of bull owners that are helping kids get started. This is a thing that is typically generational. And so guys that have ridden bulls in the past or been involved in Western sports always have, whether it's their kids or their neighbors' kids or their buddies' kids, teaching them at the level of, like, at 3, 4, 5 years old, these kids are getting on sheep and getting acclimated to, how fast-paced this thing can be. But then they're getting on calves and steers and junior bulls and working their way up. No different than Little League soccer or Little League baseball, T-ball, working their way up through the sport's different levels of competition. But I would encourage anybody to jump onto the website, PBR.com, or start Googling bull riding schools, because they are all over the place. And I know there's a bunch of them in California as well. So whatever you can do to start getting towards that sport safely, make sure you do your due diligence and find a reputable coach because they're out there.
Get your tickets while you can. Before I let you go, what's your favorite Cardi B song?
You know what? All of them. Yeah, like
that's
I
a
like
good
them
answer.
all evenly.
That's a good
I really
answer.
do.
Good answer.
That's a very good answer.
My wife made me watch a 6-hour docuseries of Taylor Swift,
Oh no.
and then a
no.
3-hour concert of Taylor Swift. So I'm leaning more towards the Swiftie than the Cardi B
Smart.
music lately, and it's my wife's fault.
You know what? That is a smart move as well, my friend. That is awesome. One more question for you before we let you go. Obviously, we've talked about baseball a couple times since you've been on this show. Are you a baseball fan? What team do you usually follow?
I'm a baseball fan. I grew up listening to Jack Buck call the St. Louis Cardinals games with my great-grandpa. I grew up now I love the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA.
Love that.
And the only pro football team I really have to cheer for is probably the highest payroll, and that's the Oklahoma Sooners in the NCAA.
Yep.
So those are my pro teams, quote
love
unquote.
that. Quick sidebar questions for you then. How do you feel about Jason Witten's son joining your Sooners? We talked about that the other day.
I love it. Look, that program, and look, everybody's going to have their conversations. That program has such a reputation of being championship successful, not just winning seasons. So when Venables comes in, if he doesn't win a national title right away, and I'm guilty of it too, our fan base immediately goes, he's not the guy. But I love what Coach Venables has done there. I love the moves that he's making. And I hate the transfer portal. Just for the record, we've lost some really good quarterbacks in that, but we've also gained some really good players. And at the end of the day, you find people that want to be a part of that program, that want to, eat, sleep, breathe, live, and die for that Crimson and Cream. And we're going to get those guys. And look, I'm calling it right now, national title. We're the Sooners are going to take it this next season.
Wow, next season. Okay, I'll give you guys that. I think within the next 2-3 years, for sure.
Every year. And I need to make a bold statement to erase that Taylor Swift comment I made a minute ago.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a USC fan. So first and foremost, I apologize for some of those transferees.
We're not friends.
Nah, I apologize for that. And then real quick before we let you go, did you hear about this $29 all-you-can-eat thing that the Cardinals are doing? And how do you feel about that? Is that going to pull you over to their ballpark here pretty soon?
This is breaking news to me. I go to Cardinals games every chance I can anyways. But now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, apparently they're going to start doing an all-you-can-eat Coke option for Coca-Cola products, nachos, hot dogs, all that type of stuff for $30 a pop.
Yeah, I might buy season tickets. At that, let's just go ahead and
if you
sign
buy
it up,
season
guys.
tickets, they better give that package to you for free at this point.
So, I mean, I'm in. I'm an eater. I'm a baseball fan, and I'm a guy that loves to eat. So
you and me both, my friend. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. West. We appreciate you so much, and we'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
Guys, thanks so much for letting us jump on and talk about what I believe are the toughest athletes in the world. I appreciate
100%.
you guys.
100%. Again, PBR Bakersfield next weekend, next Saturday. Go get your tickets right now on AXS.com or go to PBR.com for all information on if you want to become a writer or if you just want to get tickets for the next event. So, Mr. West, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Let's take a break real quick. We'll get to some other stories on the other side. We have yet to talk about this, but we lost Lou Holtz yesterday. So we'll talk about that very briefly. Plus, Chauncey Billups received his trial date as well. Looks like they'll be facing the brunt of the punishment for this whole poker game situation. We'll get into all of that on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. We are also streaming video live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I want to thank Matt West over at PBR for joining us. Again, if you haven't bought tickets yet, you need to. PBR Bakersfield will be here next weekend as the Pendleton Velocity Tour will be joining us. Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour. I
I'm trying to
apologize.
get promotions to push us some tickets.
I'm sure we'll get some next week. And if we do, you could win them right here on the Early
Bird Special.
Or on our social media. Go follow us on all social media platforms, including
we got
TikTok, Instagram.
Bunch of tickets to the well that we got Dan Betts coming up. But in the last couple minutes, you want to get into this law stuff? Because there's all sorts of them going on.
Yeah, we'll save the Lou Holtz stuff for after.
Yeah, I don't need to cry.
Yeah, Lou is as much as I'm a USC fan, Lou Holtz dying yesterday was a big hit for college football. Yes. And we'll get into that at some point before the end of the show. But yes, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones have received their trial date. Essentially, it'll go to trial on November 2nd as they face the punishment for this entire gambling scandal that they've been connected to, the poker games, the stealing from people, all that type of stuff. And yes, it is stealing. Let's be honest about it. It's a rigged poker game. That is called stealing.
Yes.
I don't care if it's alleged. That is stealing. What do you expect from this? I've seen a lot of stories from ESPN the last couple of days that are claiming that Chauncey could see some serious time for this, and so could Damon. This is going to be a really, really, really rough couple months for these two men, and I don't want to see them go to prison per se.
Oh, it's coming.
But yeah, what you did can't exactly be ignored.
I think they'll get some jail time.
How much are you thinking here? Maybe like a couple months, maybe up to
probably
a year.
Yeah, some regular jail time, no prison or something.
Fat fine from somebody.
I was just reading Diddy's going to be out here in April. I saw that. I saw the Chauncey Billups one, and one of the guys that is a suspect of all these burglaries in these homes pled guilty,
or at least one of the guys that
and he's saying there was over 30 of them.
From what I understand, and that's what I wanted to talk about when it came to this, because you've heard me say it, but we haven't really gotten a for sure answer to this. But this does seem to be a crime group or a syndicate that is doing all of this, and that's exactly what it is. It's a Chile crime group that is attacking athletes when they know they're gone, or their schedules get pretty heavy. And I was thinking about this the other day with the Terry and Arnold situation. Who's to say that they didn't do that too? Just because those guys stayed there doesn't mean they stole from you. These people could have been scoping out your Airbnb, waited for someone not to be staying there, and broke in then. For all we know, this is crazy. So we're going to be hearing a lot, I think, in the next couple weeks to months of who this group is, how they got started, and really how they got all the information that they got in order to find out the times and days and all that. Because again, the easy answer is they're sports fans. They know when this team's going out of town. It's much harder when you realize that they're attacking people in separate states, separate cities, all at the same time. So there is more to this story than they are telling us, or at least that they don't know yet, and we will most likely find out. We will tell you everything once we know it. But yeah, the first guy in hopefully a long line of arrests was made yesterday. We'll give you more information on that after we talk to our guy, Dan Betts from the Well. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see an ugly bald man behind Sparky, who apparently won't go away. He doesn't want to be streaming his own show, but apparently he can be the centerfold of ours, Sparky. Go ahead, say something, Mr. Cox. Go for it.
You're on video.
Floor is yours. You're on video. You are on video.
Let's go.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, claim you do.
Can I go do my job now? I got proper work to do.
Is that what he
Says the man who's stopping us from doing ours. Just kidding. For those of you who know, that is Scott Cox over at our Kern Radio studios. He pops in and out every so often just to say hi. Our guy Dan Betts, I believe, just arrived, so we will be sitting down with him talking about all the things that are coming to the Well Comedy Club here very, very shortly. But before then, we were just talking about this. But yes, a man has pled guilty in a connection to the 2024 string of burglaries of high-profile athletes, including Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Joe Burrow. He is one of 4 men that were arrested in Ohio in connection for these burglaries. All of these men were found with burglary tools on their person by police and were directly connected when they found, I believe, stuff from each of these athletes' homes on their person as well.
Guilty.
We'll get into that and much more on the other side, including Lou Holtz passing away. And we never got to the Iowa State Cyclones dismantling their women's gymnastics team yesterday, too. So we'll talk about
Or
that.
the brawl yesterday in women's basketball.
Yeah, that was crazy. Women's sports, man. I'm telling you, if you want some rough, tough athletes, that's where you need to go, because women's sports is where you'll find it. But Dan Betts is here. Good day, sir.
Yeah,
Good
especially
morning.
when you got dudes in women's sports, huh? Know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well,
Rough and tumble. Okay, sorry.
Look, man, we could
It's a weird way
blame
to start.
a lot of different people for that one.
Weird way
But
to start. Hey,
good to
just
see you.
made it in time. I got to tell you, just so you know, I woke up this morning. My stepson came into the room and woke me up. And my kids do this every morning before school. They wake me up, and it's obnoxious. And I was like, "Come on, man!" And then I was like, "Wait a minute." And I was like, "If he's up, I think I
Sparky's
should be
probably
up for radio, right?" And I rolled over. I looked at my phone. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. It was still on the screen where you save the alarm time.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, you set it up and you save it, and I didn't. It was on that screen. I woke up at 7:41.
Nice.
I was out the door at 7:44.
Your body knew. It said, no. Now's the time. We have to get up.
I
Don't
felt
get an
it.
alarm.
No
I
bets.
felt it tingling, you guys.
So you didn't
I'm
brush
not
your
going to
teeth.
say where because it just woke up. But
You didn't brush your teeth again.
Or put on
7:41.
deodorant either, no.
7:41.
You didn't brush your teeth again, right?
Didn't brush my teeth. 7:41. I did find time to pour a cup of coffee. I was out the door in 3 minutes. It was the worst traffic I've ever seen on the drive here.
People, work regular hours, so.
It's awful.
And
It
he
is.
said he texted me, "I'm on the freeway." I said, "Okay, we'll see him around the time the show ends."
Yep,
because
probably.
I stayed the hell off that freeway. It is insane.
And it's the worst. It's the worst I've ever seen because the incremental
Yeah.
extra couple minutes is like the 3 minutes later that I left this morning or 5
Could have made
was
up
when
for that.
everybody got
Yeah.
on the road at the exact same time.
Oh, absolutely. And
But
I'm like Sparky. I won't get on the 99 unless I'm leaving Bakersfield. I refuse. I will not do it.
Yeah, if
Just
I
because
go
of
on
how-
it's 99 South. It's getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'd rather go down the back streets than go on the freeway sometimes.
Well, if I don't, then I will be lost, which takes even longer.
You're
I don't
from
know my way.
Chicago.
everybody has GPS on their phone now.
Yeah, but my GPS is like, get on the highway. What are you doing? Get on the
That's
highway.
true.
Get on the highway. Hey,
That's
turn here
absolutely true.
and get on the highway.
My last
That's
time I was late, I did the same thing, but I accidentally screenshotted the alarm instead of setting it.
Oh,
Dang.
I woke up late and I'm
That's
like,
a new
I
one. I've
thought I
never seen
set
that
my
one.
alarm. Oh, I just took like 8 pictures of my
Okay.
alarm I was gonna set.
I photographed the gridlock just so I could prove it to the viewers that are watching the podcast. You see that?
What is that little thing?
oh
This
man,
is my phone.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, it's his phone.
I got a.
Wow.
It's the ones that fold out. I almost convinced myself
that's
to buy
kinda
one
cool.
of those.
I'll
I
literally
almost
never
did.
have. I will not have a
different one?
non-foldable phone. Yeah, never.
I like mine. I usually
That's
stick to
awesome.
the Galaxies.
There's
but-
multi-screen on it, which is super cool. Like, I
Right.
put like 3 different screens on it.
yeah.
I'm getting old and blind, so when you expand it to that big, I was like, okay.
That's why I told my mom, who is an avid reader, I was like, you need that one because you can actually put your books in it and it turns the pages like that too.
Nice.
So it's a little
pretty
Palm
cool.
Pilot. It is pretty cool.
Well, I finally got out to the Well Comedy Club last Friday night. Had a great time. Ran into all sorts of guests and comedians that have been on the show. We had a great time, man. That venue is awesome.
Thank you, man.
You guys did a great job. I mean, it feels like when you walk in, and I heard it from, I got to meet a couple different couples that were sitting at the table with us. They were first timers. So we kind of got to talking before the show started. They didn't know what to expect. And they was busting up laughing. They had a blast. We got to talk to them afterwards. They're like, we're going to come back. This is for sure a good thing. And you kind of just feel like you're in downtown LA at a comedy club. And, you know, I've been out to the Comedy Store, and I'm telling you, you get the same vibe, man. You get in there and it's like a safe zone, man. You just can relax and get away from everything that's going on in your life. So, I mean, if you're a comedian or you just want to get out, date night, whatever, get out with the buddies. I mean, the food is great. I had the sliders, those fries, man. Whatever you put in those fries are
they're
yummy,
killer, right?
man. And I work, you know, right. I smell food every time I go to work at Woolworths. He's sporting the Woolworths shirt,
See that?
which I will say they changed the hours starting today, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 3.
Cool.
And
What was
then
it? What was it before?
They kind of tested out the evenings to see what the downtown vibe is, but it'll be 11 to 3 unless there's a show going on Monday through Thursday, and then they'll stay later, I believe, until 8 or 9 Fridays and Saturdays, and close on Sundays. But yeah, I tried the sliders. My wife heard Anthony raving about the nachos, so that was the first thing she went to.
Yeah, they're the number one seller right now.
And I tried to test a couple, and she wasn't having it that night. So we had a great time though. Was it Reynolds?
Oh yeah, Kenneth Reynolds is hilarious.
So I watched a special earlier in that day, just kind of prep and see what I was expecting. The dude is hilarious, man.
He's super funny, man. And thank you for finally making it out. You've only bought tickets to 12 shows already. So
it's supporting.
Hey man, he's bought them for me at this point because I've taken a couple of them.
I know. I'll take the free donations. Hey, by the way, I was listening to you guys while I was doing all kinds of illegal maneuvers on the drive here. And
way to sell yourself out.
Yeah,
they see me rolling. Can you clear that? Is that I just you gonna get flagged for saying that? Because it was pretty close to the original, the way that I sounded there.
The pitch was
probably hard to tell.
Right.
Try to catch me riding. Okay.
White and nerdy.
I was listening to you guys on the way here, and you made me think I wanted to share this with you guys and the listeners. You're getting exclusive right here. I got a hot take on a stock for your listeners. Okay. Right now, it's March.
Yeah.
You get in now on the ground floor, get in early. The stock is going to go through the roof next month. Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. P. Diddy's getting out, huh?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We'll stock up now.
He's getting out in April.
There's going to be.
I know. When he said that, I rolled my eyes and said, "Are we really letting this dude out? Like, really?
Oh yeah.
Like,
he's already planning a tour.
I know.
Is
and
he really?
He's going to be more popular when he gets out of this than he was when he was going in.
What an absolutely moronic and ridiculous. Hey, but enough about me. You guys, what else do you?
He's got the tour scheduled. He's got all his bad boy guys coming out. He's like, he's gonna make that money.
Who is out there like signing up for the? How desperate are you in your career right now? That when you get that phone call from whatever prison, like, would you like to? You're getting a phone call from blah 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 prison. Would you like to pick up? You're like, that's Diddy. And you answer the phone. You're like, of course I'll go out on tour with you, dog. Yes,
you're my boy.
Expecting
Diddy.
him not to get out for a long time, and now it's a month away.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be like for life, dude.
Again, I just can't believe it, but it is what it is. Like, that's just life these days, I suppose. So
I got some sports talk for you guys too. I thought about this. Every time I come in here, you guys are like, you're a sports show, and then you bring in this dingling, and he just talks about jokes and comedy clubs, and there's no. They're like, this guy doesn't know anything about sports. All he talks about is Chicago.
Sports can be way too serious at times, so that's why we bring in the comedians to make everybody laugh.
Well, I have a very serious sports story for you, really quick. When I was in 4th grade, I played intramural basketball at my Catholic grade school. And you could argue not a lot of competition at this school, okay? And my best friend, Robert, was on my team because my brother, who was 4 years older, and his buddy were the coaches for the team, right? So they picked Robert and I. I'm sure we were late draft picks, you know what I mean? And we had a couple studs on the team. So Robert and I got to play in spite of being absolutely god-awful. Mm-hmm. And a few years ago, we were chatting about those days, 4th grade intramural basketball at St. Gregory the Great Elementary School in Chicago. And Robert sucked something fierce and was always like it just seemed like the ref was always blowing the whistle on Robert, and he never knew why. It was always a mystery. And he was like, dude, I don't get it. He was like, the ref was always blowing the whistle on me, and sometimes I wasn't doing anything wrong. I remember counting one time, and he still blew the whistle. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, he kept blowing the whistle, yelling at me for that 30-second violation. And we were like, 3-second violation?
3-second violation.
He
So
was
just hangs on the key.
He was just posted up, dude. He's like, I was at like 9 seconds and he blew the whistle at me.
So yeah, that's probably a
Got
good
some
reason.
serious intramural sports
He
out
was
there.
a grown man when he said 30 seconds. Me and my brother stopped. We're like, wait, what?
It's like, that makes so much sense.
It all came flooding back to him. He's like, oh, okay.
But see, that also makes me wonder. It's like, did the coach not sit him down and say, "Son, you realize you can only be in there for 3 seconds, right?"
I mean, you know, he was. You guys got to understand this. This is a different human being, my friend.
Right.
Robert. You know, he was doing the best he could.
Oh,
So with
Lord.
Anthony out in Vegas, are you still doing the open mic tonight?
Anthony's in Vegas.
That's what he said.
Oh, don't look at
What's he
me.
doing in Ve- No open mic tonight. We got
Okay.
we got skateboarding
Oh,
legend
that's right.
Jason Ellis tonight.
That is right. I forgot
Skate-
all about that.
Skateboarding. He's a Renaissance man. Skateboarding legend, right? Like
Mhm.
OG skateboarder podcast with Tony Hawk, and I guess he did a stint in the UFC as well. And he's
When I
like
saw the poster,
published
I
author.
was like, this guy is either a UFC fighter or something, because he reminded me of like a WWE guy with the cowboy hat and the long hair. I was like, okay,
He's a whole vibe, man.
okay.
You know what? I went. We were in the middle of a show at the club like a week or two ago. I think maybe it was last weekend. And I went out back to the courtyard behind the club,
Mhm.
and there were kids skateboarding across the way. You could look straight through the parking garage of the building department, and they were skateboarding across the way. Actually, I take that back. That's how it started. I'd been outside the green room, and they were skateboarding kind of right in our alleyway. And so I went out there a little bit later, and I walked up to the guys like this, like old boomer. You know what I mean? I've got my radio on for the club or whatever. And I walk up. I was like, "Hey, can I ask you guys a question?" And I know they were all like, "Oh, here we go.
Mhm.
There's some boomer about to tell us we can't skate here," you know. And I walked up. I was like, "You guys know who Jason Ellis is?" And the guy's like, the one guy's like, "Yeah, dude, I know who he is." I go, "Who?" He goes, "He's an OG, man. He's an OG skateboarder." I go, "Do you know he's a stand-up comic too? And he's come to the Well Comedy Club." He's like, "What? That's sick." You know, they're like,
Mhm.
"Is that you guys right there?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's our back door." I go, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you a free ticket to whoever lands the best trick right now." And so I had like a little skate off
That's funny.
amongst like 4 of them, which was cool. I felt like, did you ever see what's the movie High Fidelity with God, what's the movie with John Cusack? He's got the record shop in Chicago.
Oh,
Is that High
gosh.
Fidelity?
No, it's
not.
something records. I know what you're talking about, though. I've watched it before.
Anyway, yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
little skateboard punks or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
shout out skateboard punks.
That is awesome. What did they end up doing? Did someone end up actually win?
That was High
Actually winning
Fidelity.
this?
I ended
High
up-
Fidelity. It is High Fidelity. Okay,
It
I
is
was
High-
thinking of a different
I ended
one.
up comping out 4 tickets. I'm a nice guy.
Nice.
I had a feeling I was like, because I was going to say, it's like you only give one of their friends a ticket. The other 3 have to sit outside and skateboard by one of their friends to go
You
win.
practicing.
You made me sound nicer just now, but I'm still a jerk because there were 5 of them.
Oh,
The one dude just couldn't land anything, bro.
No, it's cool to kind of see that, because I've seen in our alley right there by Ticoco, I see the skaters, doing their reels and recording.
Mm.
And I'll sit there and watch them for a little while. I'm like, okay, it's cool to see people skating again.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised we have so many skateboarders. I haven't seen it, to be honest with you. Most of the kids I see are on bikes and stuff. So
They're doing wheelies in the middle of the
Oh
road.
yeah.
Yeah.
You give me a skate punk over one of these wheelie kids any day of the week and twice on Sunday, I'll run over a wheelie
Yeah,
kid, dude.
that's why I'm surprised. I was like, there are kids still skateboarding these days? Okay, cool.
And I
mean,
think they want to get hit, because 90% of
Yeah.
the time when I see them, they're going up against oncoming traffic in the middle of the road, and they don't give a damn who's looking, who's driving, who's doing
Hooligans.
nothing.
See,
Hooligans. It
this
is hooligans.
this is the hooligan situation. This is what parents need to do. This is why you got to get your kids into some sports, so they can't be doing that out, after school.
Yeah,
You'll
everybody's
force
always
them to play football or soccer or something, and trust me, they'll stop doing that.
right.
So what
Everybody,
kind of comedy does Jason Ellis do?
I don't know.
You know?
Comedy.
Just comedy?
Comedy.
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 I would hope it's stories about his days skating with Tony and all of that. That'd be really cool just in itself.
Yeah, a lot of times the guys that aren't like strict stand-ups, it's a lot of kind of story-based
Yeah.
comedy. Daryl
That's how
Hammond's
Reynolds was with the he had a story about the airport that went a good 20-minute laugh, but it was great. I mean, he got a lot of input from the crowd, and you see some of these comedians, they'll kind of bounce off the crowd, and that show he killed it, man.
Yeah.
There was a guy, of course. There's always something. There's always some crackhead or somebody in the middle of the thing that just won't shut up. And there was one drunk lady, and he pinned her out in the beginning and said, "Okay, we're gonna have problems tonight." And he kind of went back and forth with her, and we had a blast. And she came out and apologized afterwards. She wasn't loud, but you
I
can
was like,
always
please
tell
tell me
that.
my staff dealt with
No,
it. Right?
it was just one of those like the
Oh,
loud
yeah.
laugh.
The cackle.
And
You
yeah,
can't help that though. That's
And
just your laugh.
her husband was like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, we'll have fun with her. So he gave her a chance to come up on stage, and no, it's a cool vibe. Like I said, I remember the Fish Lips days, and it's got a totally different vibe. The lights, the whole section. So it's really cool. I know you got a busy weekend with comedy. Who else you got coming?
Yeah, Gareth Reynolds is today Thursday? Tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, tonight. I'm telling you, I just literally just woke up, dude. Gareth Reynolds tonight. We have Sam Tripoli and Eddie Bravo. Tomorrow, Sam Tripoli was in the Comedy Store documentary. Great comic, super funny, wild conspiracy theorist, but the sweetest human being ever. And actually, the first show I ever booked at the Well on White Lane before we owned it, when it was still the Well, was Sam Tripoli. And Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo is one of Joe Rogan's best friends. He owns 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I think he owns like 100 of them across the country or something ridiculous.
Nice.
Gave Rogan his black belt. Again, also wild conspiracy theorist as well, musician, really funny dude. That's on Friday. And then on Saturday, we got Jessime Peluso. She's so funny. Here's what drives me crazy. People don't go to see female stand-ups. Like in general, they just don't sell as well. Or there's people that straight up will tell you like, oh, I don't like the female comics. It's like they're
just as good.
Yeah, it's not like we're talking about the basketball, you know what I mean? The WNBA, you know,
which we can get into later. But yeah,
I'm getting thrown out of here. No, she's so funny. I really want folks to go out on Saturday for that show. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of,
is this on delay? Can you guys?
No, this is not on delay. Unfortunately,
it can be.
This is true.
Starting
YouTube kind of is
now.
Well, speaking of, I mean, I've got a couple questions. We had G. Williams on a week or two ago, and right after I saw Nurse Night Only is coming back.
Yeah, Nurses Night Out, yes, is coming back. Greg is a Army veteran and NICU nurse. Literally looks like he walked off the field playing like an offensive lineman. He's just a beast of a human being. And the thought of this dude holding like 4-pound preemie babies in his gigantic hand is kind of hilarious. But yes, he's and I go out on the road with him, as you know. I go out and feature with him all across the country. So one of my best friends, and excited to have him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know at the time he was saying that we're trying to work out some dates, and as soon as I got off and checked out the calendar, I saw the Nurses Night Only, and then I saw. I know we're not getting any input or any info on this bingo.
Ask about this,
but I've asked every comedian that's been on this show, "Hey, how did the bingo night go?"
Adult bingo?
Nobody, nothing.
They won't talk about it.
No,
it's like Fight Club.
It's like. Is there a code?
Apparently,
is there rules or something? But I saw again when I'm looking at the calendar, Hunks is coming back.
Hunks is coming back, and I'll tell you, super quick on that one. Hunks was reaching out to me for forever at our old location to come out, and I was like, no, like I book shows that I want to go to. Right, that's been my thing. Is like, I'm not gonna book some crappy show and have somebody spend their hard-earned money and come out, and it's not a good product, right? I book shows that I want to go to. So they kept reaching out. I was like, no. And they go, we want to come out on a Tuesday. And I was like, well, Tuesday is like the slowest night of our week.
Right.
And I'm like, well, they'll probably make more money than Tuesday Mike, right? So they booked a show in Tehachapi. And I guess Tehachapi was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not, shirtless dudes. How dare. And they shut the show down with like 2 weeks out or something.
Wow.
So these guys get a hold of me and they go, hey, we're supposed to do a show in Tehachapi. We'd really love to come move it to your venue instead. And we've already sold like 33 tickets or something. And I had to like cha-ching. Like I was like, hang on.
Let me
this
see
might be a cash cow.
Hang on a second. And then I thought, well, you know what? Why not? Who else in Bakersfield is doing a show like this?
Right.
There's obviously going to be a market for it.
Right.
And so it's not a show that I would want to go to necessarily, but it's a show that people want to go to. Give the people what they want. Let's do the show. And I knew it's going to bring a bunch of women to the club that might not have seen our ads or heard about us or ever made it out anyway. And then they'll tell their husbands, this is a great venue. We should go back. So we did it. It was like gangbusters. It was actually a blast. Eddie Molina, who's been here, maybe I shouldn't say this, made $60 at the show. He was a door guy, but everything he was like bussing tables, but he was like dancing over glasses. He made like $60. It was hilarious.
That's great.
The male staff, everybody had a good time. It was a blast. So we
gotta
brought
get Boydson out there.
We got to get Boyd.
He would love that.
And then, by the way, this is so awful of me, such a promoter sometimes. We have some larger comedians in the scene. So the next time they came out, we co-branded the shows. We did a Hunks on Tuesday, and then we did Chunks on Wednesday. We did Hunks and Chunks. It was fantastic. So they're coming back out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we have a drag show coming up too. You know, I didn't do much of non-comedy other than a couple kind of punk shows and I guess Hunks at the former place. But now to have done adult bingo, which is run by comedians as well. So it's still, funny and in the vein of comedy. But yeah, to do adult bingo, Hunks, and the drag show coming up, which is selling.
We just had the entire story and he moved around the initial question,
Right.
which
What was the initial?
What
nothing to do with
goes
bingo
on at adult bingo?
They play bingo.
Apparently.
I brought it up with the couple that we met that night because they're like, is this always comedy? I'm like, most of the time, but Betts and his wife, they mix in stuff. And I told her about the Hunk show, and she's like, really? And she looks at her husband, and he's like, hey, if you want to go, I travel a lot. Go ahead, go. I'll buy the tickets. But it was funny because you just brought up the drag thing. She said she went to a drag show last year for the first time, and she said she was like a little skeptical, like she didn't know what to expect. She said she had the biggest, funnest night. She said they put on great shows. So I mean, if people buy the tickets, man, I've never been, but I've heard a lot of people enjoy it. They have a blast, and I mean, I know I bought tickets to Hunks for my wife last year. 2 years ago, she had a blast. So
I was there. I mean, you couldn't, the women were going wild. It was so fun. The guys are just shirtless. So it's not like they're,
yeah, it's nothing crazy.
It's not wild.
It's not like adult bingo or anything.
And I can't stop it, dude. I can't talk about it, bro. I'm under.
You gotta.
There's an NDA.
What the people want, man.
There's a strict NDA.
A strict NDA, man.
Gosh, dang it! So you have to buy tickets if you want to go to adult bingo.
Yeah, and what you call it? The drag show is selling like hotcakes. I've never been to a drag show. I know a bunch of guys, straight guys. They're like, dude, they're it's hilarious. They're fun. They're wild. I've performed after a drag show as a comic twice. But I've never been to one. And once I performed and it was at Clovis. And I guess Clovis is like a staunch conservative, like farming town,
Sounds
like
about right.
Christian conservative town. I didn't know anything about it. I'm not originally from here. I'd only been doing comedy a couple of years, didn't know anything about Clovis. And I get there and it's like a sports bar. And the people at the sports bar do not know that there's a drag show happening. And it's just a bunch of like old white dudes, arms crossed, like, wow, what's going on over here? Right? This drag show. I swear this is true. And they're like 20 yards from the performers, right? Now, they're clearly there to like watch their game, hang out with their buddies on their weekly thing or whatever, you know what I mean? And a drag show happens. So they're already not thrilled. And then literally I'm the opening comedian. So the host comes out and he's like, who's ready to laugh? And then pretty much like doesn't do any time, just like your first comic, and brings me up.
Oh Lord.
You've been put into some weird situations.
I don't take gigs like this anymore. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
When you're a young comic, do you take I've performed for 4 people at a pizza factory before. Now those soul crushing gigs that are like good when you're getting reps and they're good for the stories and learning every crowd and every room and being able to read them all. But those are the ones that you drive home with the radio off. You're like, what am I doing?
What am I doing with
why
my life?
am I doing this?
Contemplating
I'm away from my wife and kids.
Oh,
I'm chugging Red Bull to get home. You know what I mean? And you're like, why? And then you get home and you
Oh.
can't sleep because you're jacked up on Red Bull just thinking about this drag comedy show that you just did.
Well, I've seen. I mean, you guys have been open what, a month, 2 months?
6-ish. I think this is
Really?
week 7 is this week. I think.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
I was
2
gonna say,
months or
it's been a
so.
minute.
I mean, it looks like you're getting into a groove because all sorts of shows are
Also-
getting booked. The calendar's starting to get full, and even Trevor mentioned, was it Monday, that what was it? The roasts are coming back. I mean,
Yeah,
there was
I heard
all
about
sorts
that.
of stuff coming back, man.
That I'm excited for. I'm excited to see the roast battles. But I also heard that Giannis Pappas gave you guys a shout out on the podcast the other day too. My
Did he
buddy
really?
texted me about that,
Nice.
and I know he wasn't at the well, or at least not yet. I'm sure
No, he
will
was,
be.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he
no, no.
just
I
did.
meant I'm this next guy, Trevor Noah. Also, or I'm not Trevor Noah. Trevor Wallace also came out and said that he loves the community here. And
Really?
had 2 of the best shows of his life the other day. Last time he was here.
Oh, super cool. I sent a couple comics to see him at the Fox, and we were debating grabbing a drink after. Sometimes we'll send like some cigars over or something like that.
Mhm.
Giannis Pappas, we went out to the cigar lounge afterwards. Russell Peters, we went and smoked some cigars over at 17th Street Cigars, by the way. Good people over there.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool that that the comics are digging it. Jesus Trejo was just here and he's like, dude, I love this club.
Mhm.
Love it, love it. When D-Ray Davis was at
Oh
the
yeah.
last club, and he's a Chicago native, had a comedy club in Chicago for
One
like
of my
5 years
favorites.
too. He's wildly funny. And he was like, dude, I want to move to Bakersfield so I can perform at this club regularly. And it's like you're already booked. Like sometimes people are, kind of blowing sunshine, but
Mhm.
it's clear that he was like, dude, I mean it. Yeah, I mean it. This place is great. And that was White Lane. This place is gonna blow the doors off.
That's what I was
Right.
gonna say. With the change, and now you've got 6-7 weeks into it. I mean, how are you adapting to it? Oh my god!
You set him up for that. I don't know why you're saying, "Oh my
I
god."
forgot about the whole thing.
I thought
now
we
if you
left
say
that
it,
in
kids
2025.
yell at
but-
you now. Now you're like 6, 7. Oh, say anymore. You're like, oh,
See, when they
sorry,
do
dude.
this, it reminds me of Major League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
absolutely.
doing?
No marbles.
Anyways,
I love that movie.
to the change of White Lane to downtown, now that you've gotten your feet wet, you're comfortable, you're getting all these shows booked. I mean, has the transition has been as easy as you expected?
Literally no. I mean, there's been nothing about this that's been easy, dude. This thing's taken years off my life, if I'm honest. No, it's it was interesting because I general contracted the whole thing myself, really, right? So I basically went. I was just talking about this the other day. I basically went from like general contractor one day to like owner operator again the
Mhm.
next day. It was like all of a sudden, like, okay, the job's done and the doors are open, and now we're running a club instead of building a club.
Right.
And I think underestimated how much kind of rebuilding we would have to do to get the word back out to the community. I mean, obviously we'd been open for 2.5 years and probably spent a small fortune on advertising, and you'd still have folks see you. I'd be wearing a t-shirt at the grocery store. Some people are like, we have a comedy club here. You're like, man, what am I doing with this ad money? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
who's this going to? And so to have spent 2.5 years telling Kern County that we're here, and now realizing I've got to spend some time telling them that we are reopened.
Yeah, that we're back.
Yeah, we're back and that we're in the new location and
Mm.
whatnot. So that's been trying and challenging, but again, we're doing it.
Yeah. I'm proud of you guys, man. It
Mhm.
looks awesome. The calendar is getting booked with great comedy shows, all sorts of stuff to do. If your wife wants to go out with their friends, go see the Hunk Show. Adult Bingo, I'm sure, will come back. They've got the battles. They've got nurses, the nurses night, which is a clean show. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff.
No,
That's
it is
what she
not.
said.
Not a clean show.
Not a clean show.
Not
Well,
a
as clean as
apparently.
nurses will get, I guess.
cleanish. And by
Yes.
the way, you don't have to be a nurse to enjoy that show. It's a fun show.
Well, then he tours with that, right?
He tours, all across the country. Nurses Night Out. Did he tell you the story of the
Oh,
lady
yeah.
that passed out at the? Did he tell you that one?
I don't think he told us that
He
one.
didn't tell us
Always-
about
he
the
always
big
tells
one,
us.
but he talked about how it was something small when he first started it and how it just blew up and how he took it on tour, and he talked about how you usually do shows with
Mhm.
him with that, and he was looking forward to getting it back in to the well.
Yeah, we've may have gone all across the country. We did poorly planned at times, I think, because we did one. Well, no, I guess that was me. The other guys on the tour stayed probably with Greg, but I think I did like. I think we went. I did like New York, came back to Baco, did Chicago, came back to Baco, then did like Pittsburgh or something, and then back to Baco in like 10 days. Like hit like the coast like 5 times in 10 days or something. And you're flying out of LAX and driving. It was wild. But yeah, all over the country. And it looks like potentially an international show coming up here too.
Right on. And then the one time I get out to go see him, I'm like, "Where's Betts? Where's Betts?" I brought him in a shirt, you know.
It was
and it's the one night
I've taken off in like 10 months. I went down to LA.
Horrible timing.
I know.
It happens all the time.
Hey, by the way, I don't know when you're kicking me out of here, but I was doing some research for you guys because again, I come in here, we just talk about comedy, but you guys are a sports show. You guys talk about wrestling, and I started watching Iron Claw last night.
All right,
What'd you think?
let's take a break.
You
But
want
I'm
to take
not-
a break first?
Yes, we'll take a
Okay.
break because we skipped the first one, and we get into some sports with bets. Because I also want to ask you about some of these moves in the NFL and what you want as a Bears fan.
You got it.
We have to talk about Drew Dahlman too,
Yep.
losing his center.
Oh, I know.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, guys. Hey, we'll be back after word from our sponsors.
Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Dan Betts is still here from the well.
Still here, just woke up. Took a
You
little
get a
nap.
donut?
Took a little nap of the break. What?
You don't know.
Donuts. Who brought these in?
That would be Mr. Sparky, as
Sparky.
he usually does.
You're waking up at what time to do this?
I get about 3:15.
Look at you. You're out of your mind.
I don't know how he does it. I really
It's just
don't.
a routine now. It's easy.
You can't pay me to get up before 5.
No, this is
No way.
this is how much I love you guys. Because you know how much I hate if there's one thing in the world that I hate, well, it's people who don't return shopping carts. But if there's two things, okay, it's people who pee on public toilet seats. But the third thing is waking up early, and
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm not big. I don't have a problem getting up early, but I do.
Clearly.
I had to pick to show my son. I always park like way far. If we go to stores, if we go to grocery stores, I'm like the one that parks way,
I do that too.
Way
I don't
out there.
mind the walk.
because I've had my car bashed in a couple times by carts, or people would just slam their doors up against it. And they don't give a damn. So I park way far. And I had my son pushing the cart the other day, and some of them, like Vaughn's and Albertsons, they have mechanical deals where they'll lock the cart up if you get too far from the store. And it was the
Oh,
funniest damn
no.
thing. It didn't make it to the truck, I'll just say. And he
You
just,
parked
like,
that far
That's
away?
just stumped across.
That
That's
is a
hilarious.
distance.
We went to the Albertsons.
And you have to just Sherpa
On
the
White
stuff.
Lane.
I was, my
We went-
God,
we
man. You're
parked
not
over
even
by
in
Burger
Target
King.
anymore.
We parked by Burger King out at the Albertsons on White
not even
Lane.
at the store that you're going to.
It was busy.
It's
It was
amazing.
busy, but it was
Okay,
funny.
that's
to
a little
stop
too
right
far
there.
for me.
And it
I'll-
just-
I'll be like halfway to 3/4 up the way
That's
from the store
hilarious.
and I'll walk. That's fine, but I'm still in the parking
he
lot.
just got his braces off and almost lost his two front teeth.
Oh, you almost endoed
I
the.
was like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry."
Oh, that is rough.
She reminded me, by the way, someone stole my stepson's baseball equipment out of my pickup truck on Sunday. So, listeners, if you're out there, there's a if you see anybody selling baseball bats,
Hold on. Was it inside the truck or
It
was
was-
it in the bed of the truck?
it was in the bed of the truck.
okay, that's
and
on you.
in my
Who
no.
leaves stuff
wow.
in the bed of their truck?
Isn't that what it's for?
There's a tonneau cover. It's covered.
Okay, that's different.
Also not on me. My
Right.
my wife didn't lock the tailgate.
That look, man. If you got a truck, I'm not saying that
No, I'm
it's
not
free game.
Yeah,
I'm just
he's just-
saying
They
that.
can see it. It's
It-
open.
Look, man,
Guess
that's-
this belongs to me now.
No,
Look at all these
it's
tools.
the same as a woman putting her purse on the passenger seat.
Hey
and
Sparky,
leaving
help
it
me
there. You're
help me
expecting
grab
no
this
one to do
compressor
that?
really quick.
Hey, it's free game. If
It
you can
is-
see it.
I never said it was free game, but if you leave it there and you're expecting no one to touch it,
Let's
Oh,
go
that's on you.
Let's go pickup truck bed shopping today. And
I just needed that.
Oh,
no, yeah, I was
man.
in the bed with the cover on. Thanks for being so sensitive to our situation. $1,500 worth of baseball equipment.
Damn.
Wow.
So if you see baseball bats or a lefty mitt for sale on Facebook
that's why
Marketplace
it's so expensive.
or at the swap meet, let us-
Or check
let us
out,
know.
and you're downtown now. Check those pawn shops.
yeah, no kidding.
know,
That's where
right?
it's all gonna be.
so obnoxious. I hate people. I'm gonna check my ring cam. I'm gonna be like Clint Eastwood in that movie where he's just the grumpy old
Uh-huh.
guy. Like,
And now you're gonna have to buy a brand new drop 5 for your kid
Yep.
just to make it up to him.
yep, exactly.
my
He knew.
God.
Hey, I was watching Iron Claw last night.
Yes. How'd you feel? I love that movie.
I no spoilers, okay? I'm only
You haven't finished it yet?
I'm only like
Okay.
a half an hour in. But while I was watching it, because in this day and age, you don't just turn on a movie and watch it start to finish like we used to. You're like, let me check Instagram for a little bit in the middle of the movie and pause. It's so obnoxious. But it led me to a Wikipedia page, and I did not know this. I'm completely ignorant here. You guys will know all this stuff.
This is the Von Erich one, right?
Yes. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bond
Great
family.
movie.
There's like 1 billion Hart wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought
The
it was
families.
like
there's-
Brett, Owen. I maybe knew that there was like another guy. There's like it's a whole like dynasty.
Well, then there's the Neidhart family, which is the family that kind of married into the family, but they're still part of it. Like Brett and Owen are the two big names that everybody knows about. But yeah, no, this family goes
Stu
back
and
a
his
long
dungeon and-
time.
Yeah, but the Von Erichs is one of the big families from when we were growing. When I was growing up, I don't know how young you are, but yeah, I mean, I remember Texas Tornado. That was one of
Mhm.
my guys. Well, I used to run around, spin around. My parents would be like, "Go outside." But yeah, that story hit some nerves because that one was it's a sad story if you don't know about the Von Erichs, because not only was their dad, a promoter and ran, several independent leagues, which huge independent leagues in those years, but that is a crazy story. But the casting in that movie is just great.
Dude, what's his face is gigantic.
Zac Efron, or are we talking about the guy from the Bear? Because they're both huge in that movie.
They both got pretty big.
Jeremy
but
White, I think, something like that.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah,
but he's still like 5'3".
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not fooling anybody.
Did the Springsteen movie look just like him too? I'm like, what?
He's a shapeshifter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but what's his Efron's enormous.
That's what I was about to say. It's incredible to me how these actors will change their bodies for these roles sometimes. Like Christian Bale is one of the biggest ones that I've seen, and the weight that he's had to go through.
It's an 80-pound swing between the Machinist and Batman.
Yeah, that is just insane to me. And there's no way your body just kind of accepts that. You know what I mean? Like the punishment that he had to go through to do that is insane.
It was like the guy that did the Joker that passed away shortly after that.
And Efron had to do an entire refacial structure surgery, right? Not too long ago, because he had busted his chin or something
busted his jaw or something. Wasn't he like drunk or something? Fell?
Yeah, something. And he went through that right before this movie started too. So to do that and continue to get in shape to play a wrestler must have been rough.
Yeah, I want whatever he's taking though. You know what I mean?
Well,
was that creatine?
That's creatine.
Is that creatine?
Strictly protein.
I want to bring some creatine in here for you guys. We're all going to be jacked.
Speaking of movies, I just recently watched, is it The Smashing Machine?
Yes.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh yeah, I want to see that one.
That is a crazy movie. And the way,
and everyone knows The Rock. Again, by the way?
Mark Kerr is one of the original MMA UFC fighters, or one of the big names.
The transition from the beginning when he was first getting into fighting, and then the long sad road of what happened over the years. And Dwayne Johnson, I mean, you could see, I mean, he commits to a lot of movies, but just seeing the beginning, I mean, how jacked he was, and then how small he gets throughout the year or throughout the movie is insane.
And again, another athlete that went from wrestling and just knowing that physique is everything, transitioning to acting, and will put his body through literally everything possible just to fit a role.
That one I get, by the way. Zach's is more impressive. You're like, I got to get jacked and like work out.
Especially knowing this is the guy from High School Musical that is now,
The Rock was like, I'm just going to chill for a couple months. Like that's it. I could get into that role. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to work out, or I'm going to sleep in now. Yeah. Hey, Rock, how'd you do it? You know what I mean?
Cut half of the pancakes on his cut day or cheat days or whatever.
I saw his tweet yesterday with a stack of pancakes.
Dude, he has
on the carb load day
the most legendary cheat days I've ever seen. Like, I've been around a lot of people who've been in the bodybuilding area of they're not professionals, but they do it here locally.
Just hunks.
And they've seen a lot I've seen a lot of crazy cheat days.
That deserved more. Right. It deserved more.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step all over it.
But
I had my brother had two buddies that were bodybuilders. I don't know if they're professional or darn near, but one of them, we went out to breakfast with this guy one day on his like carb day or whatever. And the server comes, I swear this is a true story. Server comes up and he is like, hey, let me ask you a question. He goes, what's your favorite? It was a pancake house type thing. It's like what they did. They had tons of it.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite? House. Yeah. And she was like, the chocolate chip, they're hard to beat. Blueberry, really good. And then they had, whatever. And he goes, okay, listen. He goes, I'm going to say this and you're going to have a reaction, but I am serious. Let's just get through it and just write it. Yes, I want it. And she was like, okay. And my brother and I are like snickering, knowing what's coming. He's like, I want a stack of the blueberry. And she's like, okay. And he's like, and a stack of the chocolate chip. And she like, looks up from the notepad and he's like, and a stack of he ordered it was like the whole table. And of course she was like, are you like, do you want them in to-go boxes? He's like, no, just bring. And she's like, do you want me to bring them out like one after that? And he was like, just bring them out.
Bring them all out now.
And he was like, I'm a bodybuilder. Today's the day. Da, da, da. And I mean, this dude He told us, he was like,
Legendary.
he's like, I'm not going to talk. Like when the food gets here,
No, dude, it is all strictly eating. I've been around the same situation. They won't talk to you. It's like you're not even there.
bro, he was drinking,
It's just them and the food.
drinking his protein shake with it to try to choke it down.
commitment.
He had a protein shake too.
Yeah, wild. And here's the other one that I think is really crazy. The other guy would talk about before he would go to bed every night, he would peel 3 hard-boiled eggs,
Oh wow.
put them in a little dish, put it on the toilet tank in his bathroom, finish chugging his protein shake, go to bed, wake up in a couple hours because he'd have to go to the bathroom from the protein shake,
Right.
drink another protein shake, and while sitting on the toilet, urinating and drinking his protein shake, he would eat the eggs.
That's
He-
too much.
Commitment.
There's no way
He
your
was like,
body
"That's how
needs
mu-
that much protein.
No, but that's what he would say. He's like, I can't get enough protein during my waking hours to maintain what I'm doing. I have to consume it.
That is
Got to
like-
catch up.
Isn't that wild?
It is
That
crazy.
is
I mean, I have a
so
16-year-old, which will get his license next weekend. It's beware, everyone
Ooh,
knows.
Stay off the
But
sidewalks.
he's goes through these growing spurts, and once every other couple of weeks we'll hit In and Out, and he'll get the double cheeseburger and the animal fries and all that. And about a month ago, he's like, I'm still hungry. And I'm like, well, they have bigger burgers, dude. Next time you'll know. So last time we went, he got a 4x4.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
my boy.
I want to see if this fool was going to finish it. He
Hell
finished it and
yes.
was looking for more fries. I was like,
Oh,
damn, this boy. And he's been working out. I have to give it to him. He's been working out. I just got him a ice pod for the summer. So I'm going to see if he's
Like
how
a plunge
committed.
thing?
Oh yeah. It'll just a little circular thing. It was like $100. But
Really?
you it comes with 3 ice packs. You fill up, put it in the freezer whenever you're ready. You fill up and you put it in within, I believe, 10 minutes. It gets to the temperature and 15 seconds
Wow.
after workouts. I was like,
I just did an
Nice.
ice plunge
If you're
the other
committed.
day when the Bears beat the Packers. Booyah. Did you see the
I
video?
saw
I
that.
did see the video. Speaking of Bears,
Yeah.
Drew Dahlman retiring.
I just saw someone had a good take on it. Someone was like, hey man, like it was a Instagram reel, and the guy was talking about the number of people whose brains have been studied and
Yeah.
shown CTE was mind-blowingly worse than I ever could have
Yeah.
fathomed.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really shocked me. And it was even people that were in their 20s. And so it was like, how can you say something to a guy that's in their 20s
Yeah.
with their whole life ahead of them going, hey,
Well, and their whole life was football, so they've been taking punishment since they were what, 8,
Yeah,
9?
at least. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey.
and Sparky's a Dolphins fan, so he's been taking punishment
Since before that.
Right.
Literally the day he was born.
And speaking of taking
enjoy it.
punishment, your boy, talk about some concussions, huh?
Which one? Tua?
Yeah.
That is not my boy, first of all.
Okay,
And
sorry.
second of all,
I know Sparky's been
A little touchy subject here.
catching some heat online.
I've been
too.
catching the blood. I said
I just saw those
someone
yesterday.
someone put happy birthday Tua from a Dolphin page. I said, yeah, we should have released him on his birthday, and they do not like that.
No.
And
We
I
had a
thought I
couple
wrote it on my
people.
Dolphin page. I thought it, and it was from the early
got
bird.
lit
So
up.
I'm catching
Hey
a bunch
man,
of
it
crap.
is what it is.
Whatever, fool.
Catching
It is
strays.
what it is.
All of a sudden, you're a Tua fan. I
Yeah.
stuck with that guy over the years when nobody was, and I gave him a chance.
true.
Being a Dolphin fan since the 80s, I've watched plenty of Dolphin quarterbacks over the years after Marino, and I'm just ready for another one. Let's just keep it up. But
we got ours.
we talked about, the Bears are one of the key teams that the NFL believes that they're going to go for a push to get Crosby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one is there's been talks that DJ Moore could be in that trade to get him. And we talked about, we opened up the show. I mean, Tyreek Hill, the Stefon Diggs was just released. One of the Atlanta receivers was released earlier this morning. Is there anything you think that you want the Bears to go after, and the Max Crosby again?
I think there's a good chance Crosby goes, and here's why too. I think I just call me crazy. I want to say I just saw that DJ Moore was like, I'm willing to renegotiate the contract
To stay?
to stay. And how often does that happen? Because I feel like when we were younger, all of us, I feel like when we were younger, you had these like dynasty teams in multiple sports, baseball, basketball, where people were willing to stay. Scottie Pippen was willing to be a volunteer on the Bulls just to keep winning, right?
True.
And then it became like, let me go where I can make the most money. Let me get mine right now. You know what I mean? And you see like the Cubs win the World Series and then they break up the band
The loyalty
immediately
game has
after, right?
died.
Yeah. So I feel like if you've got something so special, so magical happening there that guys are going, oh, I'll take a pay cut. I'm here to win rings. You know what I mean? I want to stay. I could see a guy like Crosby, who we talked about last time I was here, going like, wait, you want me to not play? No, that's not what I'm here to do. I could see a guy like that going, I'm going to go there not for the most amount of money.
Right.
Yeah,
I
to
want to
play.
win.
And they
Yeah.
just released too that they finally released who Max is upset with. Apparently it's a Brady guy. It's one of the guys that they have that's in charge of pretty much health and wellness for the players, who came forward and told Max, you're not playing in that last game. And that's why he's upset. So he's upset with the Brady camp in general. So Brady being there might be the driving factor for why he wants to leave now.
I mean, you can read the attitude. We got to meet him out in Vegas for a Raider game, and it's all over his face, man. This guy wants to play football 24/7, and I think that was what broke that relation, is him benching Crosby for the last 3 games of the season, knowing the guy just wants to play. And I think, I mean, personally, he's the last person to leave the locker room and the first person there the next day. That's the type of guy you want on a championship team.
And if the Raiders are willing to part with that, then so
it's
be
like
it.
I've seen them do that with the Bears before with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, that guy's also searching for a Super Bowl ring right now.
Get Mac over there too.
God, could you imagine if Matt comes back with Max? Oh, my God.
That'd be wild.
It really would. Sir, thank you for your time. We appreciate you as always.
As always, thank you guys for
Go out
having
to
me.
the well tonight.
Yes.
Love being here.
Go
Yeah,
check
all
out
weekend.
every show. And the Well Comedy Club, they can buy tickets.
Yes, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We do give out free tickets from time to time on Instagram. I think I got a pair to give away later today. So check us out.
Fantastic. Go follow them on all social media platforms, as well as us at the Early Bird Special. We got to get out of here for the day, though. Sparky, let's go home.